And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
Oh, buddy, I'm doing great today. Beautiful Monday out there. Nice, cool weather, dude. Sunny, sun. Can't ask for a better day, honestly. Sorry for your week.
Officially, I believe it's the first day of spring. Am I wrong?
Oh, dude.
My mom texted me before. Yeah, I believe so.
Official first day of spring. March 20th.
What do you know? And how about this?
5:24 p.m.
That's something that you would be keen on, Tony. I have to say.
Yeah.
The exact time, dude.
I mean, they
highlighted
highlighted
with
for
your
us.
birthday, though. Honestly, do you make a big deal about that?
Wait, what?
Birth
Oh,
time?
no. Well, I mean, I think I was born early in the morning anyway, so you know, dude.
If it was late at night, I could see you doing that, though.
But also, dude. Oh yeah, definitely. But also, I don't know if you've noticed this too, but like working, like, you know, for LA Barnaby or anything, but like I've noticed at school what people are saying, like time, like the time, and then EDT.
Do we know what EDT is?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
could we go EDT?
I think it means, I haven't looked it up yet. But I think it means like you know, it's like EST for Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
I think EDT is like Eastern, like daylight savings time.
That has to be what it is.
Eastern time, ET. What is it?
Eastern daylight time. Yep. That means because we're.
Am I wrong to say that they've never done that before, though? I feel like I've never even heard of that.
I don't
and all of a sudden,
remember it. It could have been there, and we just weren't paying attention. But yeah,
maybe.
But we're always big, obviously, on Eastern time. And Michael Theophil coming in hot. Wow. Let's go Money Monday. Let's get it, boys. The second best show here ended on 98.7, and now the best begins. Wow. So Michael is fired up. He's fired up for Gaming Quarter later.
Oh, dude.
Getting his revenge in Madden.
He's dying for. He's talking some smack.
No.
Dude. Once and he was. No, he actually wasn't talking smack.
Was he talking about he's riled though, or no?
Oh, definitely riled, dude.
Okay.
Wants the big comeback victory.
Wow. All right, can you with your guys matchup? I forgot. Was it like split? Like when you guys last played?
I honestly don't remember. I think I beat him, right? Did I beat him?
I think
I beat him
I'm
with
not...
the Ravens, maybe.
Okay.
Because didn't he play you as the Ravens and then me as the Ravens back to back?
Or no, I think I the Ravens one of the times. I'm coming for blood.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, dude. He's hyped. He wants bloodshed, dude.
So we are riled up for that later on. But there's so much between now and then, and what a
so much, dude.
Busy weekend. You know, with all the basketball, the golf, which is a good place to start. And you know, of course, we had the Valspar Championship, Palm Harbor, Florida, Innisbrook Resort on the Copperhead course. And let me tell you, Tony, Jordan Spieth had every opportunity to win this tournament, and it was just a constant thing. Birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey.
Yeah.
And he just kept toggling between 8, 9, 10 under par. 10 under par. Ends up finishing tied for third, 8 under par. 2 shots back of Taylor Moore, who picks up the win here. So obviously a lesser known name. And I want to say this was his first PGA Tour win.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
Okay. So obviously congratulations to him, and that cements his place in next month's Masters. So obviously he's fired up for that, as well as the PGA Championship. Adam Schenk finishes 1 shot back at -9. I don't know if you saw this though, Tony. He got into a little bit of trouble because his tee shot landed right by a tree. Had to hit a left-handed shot.
Wow.
And it just
could you do that?
No.
I know, that's so ridiculous.
I mean,
dude.
maybe a left-handed shot, like literally to hit it 5 feet, but like an actual left-handed shot, definitely not. So that's tough. You know, he was in contention to win all week. Defending champion Sam Burns gave it his best, including a 4 under 67 on Sunday to finish 6th. And further down the leaderboard here, JT Poston tied for 10th at -3. And I just wanted to see JT was down here pretty good. Justin Rosa +1. It's probably easier if I just look this up.
Oh boy.
So he finished
Zach Wilson?
Oh, okay. He actually rallied on Sunday to tie 10. So
nice, dude.
we had 2 guys in the top 10. We know it's always tough to pick these, and
tough,
this
dude.
week is not going to get any easier with the match play tournament. So those are ones where the number 1 guy could win, the 60th guy could win. You never know what that's going to look like, and the future of that tournament, very much so up in the air with Austin Country Club not going to be the host venue after this year because of the money disagreement. But you have to imagine
the money disagreement.
Just on the fee that they're charging to host a tournament. But
oh my gosh!
Just because I talk about this all the time. Other than if you're doing like a Ryder Cup or President's Cup. There's no tournament that is strictly just match play. So you'd imagine they'd be able to put this together somewhere. And I say, figure something out where you could play it at an iconic venue, that maybe only hosts major championships generally, and then do the match play there. I mean, why not?
I disagree. I think you should play it at like a man's, golf course, like Fairchild Wheeler or something.
This is one of those things we talked with Jay about.
Oh, come on, dude. How would it not be awesome? Fairchild Wheeler hosting. You'd go right to a hip, skip it a jump. I think that's what, yeah.
Excuse me?
A hop, skip it a jump, dude?
No, I want to, you know what where I'd love to see it? Because I think they've only had like the U.S. Amateur there. And I know it's tough to get there, buses, planes, all this stuff, but Bandon Dunes in Oregon, it's right by the water, and it is a tremendous track. I think the only problem is kind of tough to get fans out there and stuff, but if they can figure that out, that would be great. But I guess we have some comments to catch up on here.
I guess we can start with Michael, because I just said the hip hop, Tony. Oh, dude.
Always like smashing buttons.
I didn't even hold on, just stand by here.
What at the end of the day, what is that? It's just the wire?
I think maybe this cable is on the fritz.
Oh.
That's the only thing I could really think of, dude. It could also possibly be my laptop, but that's like you really hope it's not your laptop situation. Because if it's the port, it's like there's Brian.
There we are. We're green today. A little late for St. Patrick's Day. But
dude, first of all, it's never late, dude. How many Guinness do you have this weekend?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure
that's despicable.
Most two. No, hey, it's not despicable. I had one.
It's despicable. Anyway, Michael says he's in to Matthew, who says we should pool our money and place a DTV wager on the Jets top win. Jets to win, I'm assuming is what he meant, to win the whole thing. As Michael says, Rodgers and OBJ equals Super Bowl this year. I'm going to do my first sports bet ever. I'll give Barnes the money to do it for me. LOL says I have no clue how, but the Jets to win the Super Bowl. Tony crushed it this weekend. He said, I'm assuming with the Guinness. And then he also says, never doubt UConn. I was thinking about him all day yesterday. Watching UConn specifically at night after they won. But I don't know, dude. I think this Roger. I understand Cowboys are out on Odell, right?
Yeah, because of Brandon Cooks trade over the weekend.
Which, by the way, I read that OBJ has like been the most traded wide receiver in the history of the NFL.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks has
4 times.
Oh,
he's been traded for multiple first rounders, second rounders, third rounders, 6th rounders, 5th rounders.
7th rounders.
Production, in all seriousness, Tony.
In Cooks or OBJ?
In Cooks. I mean, he's had a couple 1,000-yard receiver.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, great move by the Cowboys anyway, dude.
Just as your number 2 receiver.
Yeah, dude.
Not asking too much.
I don't know, dude. And I think maybe Michael's a little bit ahead of himself with the bet, dude. I don't know how you feel.
Well, it's one of those things. Brian. I think there's value now because technically he's not on the Jets. You don't know what's going to happen. But then at the same time, what happens is you make the bet and then for whatever reason, something crazy ends up happening. So it's kind of a tough spot. But I mean, then again, what are the odds really going to be? 30-something to 1. So you put what, $100 with 3,000?
Yeah.
Is that
so it's 30 to 1?
30 to 1 or no? Yeah, should it?
Yeah, 100 times 30 is 3,000.
Yeah, 3 to 1 would be 300.
Yeah. What are do you know what the odds would be like right now before any trades go through? Like, Can you even place it? You can probably place it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's constant. Super Bowl it's only saying 14-1.
That's
6
pretty
days ago.
beat, dude.
Yeah,
And you imagine if they get Rodgers and OBJ, they're gonna probably lower.
yeah, like down to 10 or
Yeah.
something. But 14-1, like it's still $1,400 for $100.
Yeah, but I would want something more than that, dude. Like, let's put 14,000 down.
Well, let's put 1,000 each.
Okay.
No, but you want to put 14,000 down, actually.
Yeah. So
All right, I think we'll have to, put some thought into
10,000 between the four of us, dude. I think we can
get a
that.
little creative, maybe move some crypto around,
right? Yeah, dude. Sell a couple Bitcoin, dude.
So that's
all right.
That's interesting stuff. But yeah, so obviously, again, congratulations to Taylor Moore there on that tournament, and we'll talk about the match play on Wednesday. But obviously we got to talk about March Madness over the weekend, and let's start with UConn because how do you not? Michael dude? Is right because I did let you talk me into taking Iona, which
you did it yourself.
The game on Friday, Iona did have a 2-point lead at halftime, so they did give them a tough battle, but obviously UConn just dominated the second half and picked up an easy 20-point victory there. And then yesterday, maybe it wasn't 20 points, but 70-55, pretty decisive. And once again, a tight first half, where they lead 31-30, but outscored St. Mary's 39-25. And starring in this one, Adama Sanogo, 24 points, 8 rebounds. And then, helping him out, Hawkins had 12 points, including 4 3-pointers. Newton had 13 points, 3 3-pointers. At the end of the day, it's Dan Hurley's first 2 NCAA tournament wins at UConn. And we talked about how coming into his 5th year, he needed to produce. And this is definitely enough to keep his job for next year. But, we know how, UConn fans, you're going to have high expectations. You've won, I believe it's 5 national titles. So you want to, and I really think, the meat of this bracket is out. You were anticipating you'd have to play Kansas. They lost to Arkansas. That's who you're playing. And not to say, Arkansas is going to be easy, but you beat Iona, you beat St. Mary's. Now you're playing Arkansas. There's no reason why this run can't go to the Final Four.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you, you think that Final Four guaranteed right now, you think, or, I know it's tough to guarantee something. Yeah. But if you had to guess, where would they run into trouble?
No, I honestly, we'll pull up, I guess, the exact bracket, but it just seems like once they get going, we've seen with UConn, they don't really stop.
Right.
So you would think that they're gonna, potentially be in a championship game here. But just looking at their place in the bracket, so they're gonna play Arkansas, and then they get the winner of Gonzaga and UCLA. So that obviously is going to be tough. And, we saw Gonzaga, pull out that win against TCU last night as well. So that would be a little tough. But I think really, you get past these next 2 games. Then I think you really show your battle tested because Arkansas is a quality team. And whether it's Gonzaga with Mark Few or UCLA with Mick Cronin,
who would you rather play between those 2 teams?
UCLA.
Really?
Gonzaga is a tough team. Drew Timme has been there forever. You got to at least like Drew Timme, Tony. The stash.
Yeah, dude, the name too. Yeah. Come on.
No, but you actually know him or no?
I remember, dude. It's the only 2 I remember because of the
stash. Yeah. So I feel pretty good about, the direction that they're headed. So obviously congratulations to them. On the other side of things, Providence, tough one against Kentucky, which was on Friday. They lose 61-53, and really just couldn't get comfortable, I felt like, in this game. And it was a shame, because like I had said many times, the last part of this year, for whatever reason, did not go right. And it kind of continued into this game. And a big reason why, they had trouble here is Tashibwe, I think is how you pronounce it. The center for Kentucky, he had 25 rebounds. So just, could not, really control the paint at all. So that's kind of why Kentucky was able to win this one. And then, of course, 3-pointers always do you in, 5 of 24, Carter was 1 out of 7. So that's going to hurt. And then Bryce Hopkins only had 7 points, 8 rebounds in against his old team in Kentucky. And then, of course, after the game, Cooley kind of non-committal on his future. My mom actually texted me this morning and saying, I guess his house in Providence is up for sale. So a lot of steam on him accepting that Georgetown job.
Wow, dude.
And then and it's funny. We've always liked him. And
Inside
today,
scoop.
She kind of brought up the option of, well, maybe this is a good thing because, while he has improved the program since he took over, of course, they haven't gotten to the promised land. But I was also explaining how, there was a couple coaches before they couldn't get any traction either. But of course, if he does leave, though, I mean, the one thing that everyone can agree on is the program's in a lot better place than when he, first took over. I think it would just be a question of who's coming to replace him.
Right.
If it was Richard, I would be in favor of it. But he wants to be in New York,
right? Because
the whole scenario with him, how he lives in Merrimack, or what? How do you pronounce it, Tony? In New York, Mamaroneck. You don't know in Westchester, Mamaroneck? Yeah. I can't believe you Mr. New York.
Dude, if it's upstate, dude, it's over.
No, it's not upstate, Tony. It's in Westchester. It's not upstate.
It's above the city.
Oh my God. This sounds like
Merrimack?
Okay. No.
Merrimack?
No.
That's not in
No. It's like M-A-M. M-A-M-A-N-O-R-E-K. New York. Just type it in. It's not the right spelling, but it'll come up to it.
This one?
Yes. Tell me that it's speaking Chinese to you.
Yeah, basically, dude.
Unbelievable. Really. Anyway.
Dude, under 20,000 residents. Come on.
Matt just texted me Mamaroneck. So there you go.
Mamaroneck.
Anyway, Tony.
Yeah, Matthew would know that.
The legendary golf course Wingfoot is. And I guess apparently he lives on the course, so wants to stay living there. And so that's why, he wouldn't be a candidate for Providence. But a lot of traction. I just saw an article on ESPN about him with St. John's. So I think it's just a matter of working out the financials there, which I think is a great move. I guess the boosters are really going to come in support to up their NIL money, and they're just a program that needs the help. It's been quite some time since St. John's was in the upper echelon of the college basketball world.
We have a few comments here. First of all, Michael comes in a little hot here. Says, sorry, Barnes, always hated Cooley, did nothing for Fairfield U and left them in the dirt like he's doing now.
The one thing I would say is he's done a lot for Providence, so I can't relate on that end. And I know Fairfield U, he didn't get to leave his mark. But I get what you're saying. For Fairfield U specifically, it's a tough spot.
Yeah, Fairfield U sucks.
Fairfield, exactly. Fairfield U is a tough job, though. So who's going to want to say
it's a horrific college, dude. Old, aging, dying.
I mean,
not adapting to what's going on around them.
It feels like it
dude.
would be a tough place to go. I have to say.
Also, Matt is going on quite the tangent here. He says, Barnes and everyone, you're going to die. My cousin Frankie has mutual friends with Patino. Might end up hanging with him. Frankie lives a few streets over from him from Barnes.
Golfing with Patino.
Holy shit, bro. Frankie was literally just telling me about.
Could you imagine, though, if
golfing
we
with Patino.
Golfing with Patino?
That would be ridiculous.
Oh, my God. We definitely have to make that happen.
Oh, yeah. We probably could. I mean, dude, with Matthew, we are like one person away from Patino.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
no, we're gonna golf with Richard at Wingfoot. I think we would.
Dude, Fairchild Wheeler?
How does it keep going back to Fairchild Wheeler?
I don't know. It's the closest course around here that I really only know, dude.
But really though,
Great River?
No, but Tony, I'm just saying Wingfoot is legendary.
Never been there.
You really haven't heard of it though. This is why you're Mr. New York, and then there's crucial historic parts of New York, and you just don't know anything about them.
Crucial historic parts. Why is it historic? Why is Wingfoot historic?
Look it up. Look Google right now.
Do you know?
I want you to look it up.
Oh my God!
Bryson DeChambeau won the U.S. Open there, 2020.
Is that why it's historic?
No,
because Bryson DeChambeau.
It's just a very renowned golf club.
Wingfoot.
Phil Mickelson collapsed there, I think, in the 2006 U.S. Open.
Is that why it's
he didn't actually collapse physically, Tony? I'm saying he should have won the tournament.
Oh my gosh. What is Wingfoot? Myers World, one of the greatest golf clubs.
Oh, interesting.
Founders had such a remarkable vision for the club, which was founded in 1921. Not one, but two of the greatest golf courses in the world, designed by that same guy, A.W. Tillinghast. That's
You're
quite the name,
getting a
man.
little feel for it now, I think.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've never been, but yeah, I'll visit the town. You know,
All right.
golf club in Westchester County. I mean, it just doesn't really sound like me. You know.
Oh my! You're very like I can't believe it though. Like you, not only do you not like Connecticut, but I think you don't like other sections of New York.
I do enjoy Connecticut very much. Dude. I like Connecticut. I love New York.
Are you more of a fan of Westchester or Connecticut?
I've never even been up there, so I mean, how could I?
I can't believe a New York native and you haven't been to Westchester, Tony.
I don't think you understand though. Like quite literally, like when you're from New York City, anything above the city is fucking banana land up there. You know, it's totally different.
I don't know.
It's like they're almost two separate entities.
I'm having a tough time with it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's like imagine like if I mean, think about it like you and Mike. Okay, Mike is from Fairfield, the coast. You know, you're from Monroe. You know,
I explain further.
Like Michael always talks about those other, the other towns in Connecticut, upstate, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just not the coast. You know,
to me, the only weird
Michael's a
part
coastal
of Connecticut is like by like Massachusetts, like up there.
Right.
Like, sure. Like that's, but anything around here, like whether we're from Monroe, Fairfield, like it's not like we're gonna be like Darien, never heard of it.
Yeah, but I feel like Michael is more like me, where it's like if it's outside Fairfield, like Fairfield County, I feel like to Michael is just like Fairfield, like Westport, Southport area, like maybe some Bridgeport. But beyond that, he's just
Matt says, Tony, you love Westchester. We'll get him there. At Wingfoot, you'll appreciate it. I swear to God, you go to the golf course, you're not even gonna know what to say. Like you're talking Fairchild Wheeler in the same breath, Tony, as Wingfoot. Like, are you kidding me?
Never been.
Are you kidding?
I've been to Fairchild Wheeler, so I know what it's like.
One more comment here before we.
Michael is trying to play the middle guy. Like he's Switzerland right now. He goes, ha ha ha, New York native, never in Westchester. Question mark, explanation point, question mark, blasphemy. And he goes, no, LOL, don't pull me in.
Yes, and then Fairchild sucks.
Fairchild sucks.
Yeah, Fairchild is brutal, honestly.
I have a good time there.
Tony.
Come on, dude.
It's just one of those things, especially you. You know why you should be able to relate? Because you're very about your quality with your food.
Right.
But yet, for a golf course, you just throw that out the window.
I've been eating food for like 27 years, Brian. I haven't had much golf experience,
I know you haven't, but I'm actually trying to think, like, so have you, like, where else have you played around here? Anywhere? Like in Connecticut?
No.
What about in New York?
Oh, yeah. South Shore Country Club.
It's called South Shore Country Club?
Yeah.
Who belongs there? Or
is it who belongs there? It's a public course.
Oh, no, well, because obviously, like called country club, it could be private too.
Who belongs there? I belong there, Brian.
Is that the town course?
Yeah.
Tell me it has to be a lot nicer than Fairchild or no?
No, yeah, it's very well groomed. Yeah.
Okay.
Great job doing them. Yeah.
And they don't have like the power line like going across the fairway.
No, it's very nice. It's on the South Shore of
That's
Staten
one
Island.
thing. Like
very rich area.
How did they ever do that though?
I know, right? So like you're worried about it, like hitting your ball here.
It reminds me, funny story, and then I promise we'll get back to our agenda.
I got here all morning.
Oh, of course. Yeah. But we want to talk sports too. But anyway, I was playing at Oak Hill Park in Norwalk. Okay. And so they have the same scenario, and I think it's number 10. Power line going across the fairway. So off the tee, I absolutely rip one. It honestly would have went 300 yards probably. And it hits off the thing. And the whole rule is, when you actually no. So this was my second shot. This happened. But anyway, so the rule is when that happens, you just re-hit from where you just hit. Like it doesn't count.
You just gotta,
So the starter doesn't see me do that. And he just sees me hit again, though. And he comes up to me and he goes, yeah, we're only playing one ball today. And I literally don't even look up at him. And I just go, it hit the wire. And he literally sprints out with the cart to get the ball, like that hit the wire and brings it back to me. Sorry about that, sir.
Wow, that's so funny.
It's like, are you kidding me? Because they've always been a little funny over there. Like, I swear to God, my friend.
That's so crazy. They don't let you play more than one ball?
Well, nowhere you're technically supposed to be. It's just busy. They don't want it to be backed up. But this tops this, Tony. This would be like, I would leave right now. My friend got 20 seconds late to the tee time. starter. You're not teeing off. Drop it in the fairway. Like dead serious.
Oh my God, dude.
Like what do you think you would say?
I would say definitely some vulgar words for the man, but I mean that's so because I feel like you just say something and then it's just like you're getting kicked out.
Yeah.
You know, like no tolerance. So it's like,
right. It's
what do you
tough.
really have to do at that point? But that's such a fucking
Yeah. And
what
this
an asshole, dude.
I think we were like still in high school. Like this was a while ago.
And this was in Norwalk, right?
Norwalk, yeah. They've been known to be a little stiff. I don't really like that
dude.
course. The Stanford courses are a lot better, but it just made me think of it with the whole wire, situation.
Yeah, tough. How do you feel about Michael saying he'd rather go to the par 3 South Pine
It's
Creek?
funny. The par 3 push has been going on for a while now. I feel like since last golf season.
I mean, it's like $20 to go. Like, why not?
Because you can't hit a driver.
I mean, I'm sure you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, if you want to kill somebody.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's fun.
Yeah,
right?
the guy comes over to yell at you then, you know.
Anyway, Tony.
Anyway, let's get back to the sports.
The only
dude.
couple of things, from the tournament I just want to mention. Obviously, I mean, we can't give enough congratulations to Princeton for defeating Arizona as a 15 seed in the first round and then dismantling number 7 Missouri 78-63. So Princeton, I want to say they're the third 15 seed to make the Sweet 16. So obviously as an Ivy League school, we talked about this in our bracket selection show, just what a feat that is. So 22 points for Langborg. He led the way, and Peters had 17 off the bench, including 5 3-pointers. But what a story for Princeton to make it to next weekend.
The fourth 15 seed to reach Sweet 16.
Fourth, okay. So, and you would imagine too that their head coach, would get some, head coach consideration for some bigger jobs after pulling off that feat. And I just wanted to see too I believe that they're going to play on Thursday. It's either Thursday or Friday here in the Sweet 16. Okay, so no, they are going to play Friday. And okay, they are playing Creighton actually. So not to say it's an easy game. Creighton is a 9.5-point favorite. But the fact that that's all that separates them from a trip to the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four, I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff, Tony, coming from an Ivy League school.
Oh yeah, especially like team from New Jersey, like you mentioned. Only fourth team in the history of this tournament to do that, which is pretty crazy for them. And again, for another team that's kind of been written off, and obviously, being a pretty low seed. And it's funny too, because I think Jay was mentioning this to me. I forget what he said the stat was. He may have even said it on Friday. But in recent years, seeing some of these New Jersey schools make like Cinderella runs, it's pretty funny how that is kind of happening.
St. Peter's to the Elite Eight last year.
Yeah, like how crazy is that?
Fairleigh Dickinson, the 16th seed this year, and then Princeton to be in the Sweet 16 this year as well. But so I guess their coach is Mitch Henderson, and he was an assistant at Northwestern for 11 years before coming to Princeton in 2011. So he's been there a while, 47 years old. It's a shame, these schools, they make deep runs. You think about St. Peter's last year, their coach, Rasheen Holloway, ends up going to Seton Hall. Everyone transfers out. They finish, under 500 this year, but there's still the notoriety is there. So it still helps him in the long term, but it is tough. But you'd imagine he'd leave. But obviously he's going to enjoy this run for now. And yeah,
it's so crazy what happens to coaches after one run, dude.
You can't argue with the fact though. It's like for the big programs that maybe struggled or didn't meet expectations. I mean, what else do you want them to do though? You know what I mean? It's like, and also you want coaches to grow in their careers, and then it opens up a new opportunity for someone else.
Yeah, I'm saying crazy like as it's a good thing,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, exactly. But I mean, there's a lot of movement, of course.
Right.
And a perfect example is I forgot the guy's name, but the head coach at Gonzaga, Mark Few's been there since 1999. And they mentioned, they did come back to beat TCU last night to advance to another Sweet 16. But the coach before him was there for like 1 or 2 years. They made a deep run in the tournament. He took another job. Now he's coaching at Long Beach State, which is like just a brutal job to be on. And, he's, Mark Few here. I mean, every year, he's made Gonzaga a national power.
Dan Monson?
Yeah, Dan Monson.
And Monson.
Molson. So obviously, that's a brutal decision for him. I mean, the success that Few has had, and he's one of the teams that I definitely would like to see. I mean, they've been to the national championship game a couple of times. I mean, they are due to, finally close off the deal. The only problem is, they might have to run into like UConn in the championship game.
Oh,
So we can't give them a shot there.
Yeah, no way.
But just kind of wanted to set the tape too here for the, so it'll be Thursday, first day of the Sweet 16. We'll have Michigan State, Kansas State, and that one is actually from MSG. So a good matchup there between the Big 10 and the Big 12. Michigan State right now, 2-point favorites. And what a job Tom Izzo has done. I think this was his 25th consecutive NCAA tournament, and just another, win as a higher ranked seed yesterday, and just also, over Marquette, and then just also, another Sweet 16 appearance. Arkansas, did you see actually the coach, Tony, threw off his shirt and threw it into the crowd?
Yeah.
Eric Musselman, I think, who used to coach for the Kings in the NBA. So they're going to take on UConn. This one is actually going to be in Las Vegas. So UConn playing at T-Mobile Arena. Right now, UConn is a 3.5-point favorite there. Florida Atlantic, who, beat Fairleigh Dickinson yesterday. They're going to take on Tennessee. Tennessee, 5.5-point favorites. They eliminated Duke over the weekend. And then the heavyweight matchup between Duke and Gonzaga and UCLA. And that one's going to be from Vegas as well. UCLA, 1.5-point favorites in that one. So some really good games coming up on Thursday. And then flipping the calendar over to Friday, we have Alabama, the number 1 overall seed, taking on San Diego State. They're 6.5-point favorites. The only other remaining number 1 seed, Houston, will take on Miami, and Jim Larinaga, who was actually the coach of George Mason back in 2006 when they shockingly beat UConn to make it to the Final Four. Houston, 7-point favorites there. Princeton, Creighton, 9.5-point favorites. That one's going to be actually from Louisville. And then the last game of Friday will be in Kansas City, and it's between Xavier and Texas. So what a story. Texas, the whole Chris Beard situation, they're 4-point favorites here with a trip with the Elite Eight on the line, and everybody vying to get to that Final Four in Houston. So it's just crazy how quickly the tournament turns over. And after the first weekend, we go from 68 teams to 16 teams. And it's just nice that the UConn's in position to make a run here. And I think that's what everybody other than Tony wants to see right now.
What the hell, dude? You're rooting for Providence, all right?
I was rooting for both of them.
No, you were not, dude.
Yes, I was.
If it came down to them playing each other, you would root for Providence.
No, I would say whoever wins.
No way, dude.
Yep, that's what I would have said. So that's tough, though, right?
Honestly, Michael, we're never gonna hear from the end of it from Michael if they go like all the way and they win, because he wanted to put UConn in to be winning. And I mean, obviously, you have to see it for a men's team like that. When's the last time they
won?
Yeah,
2014.
Almost 10 years ago. So that's pretty crazy.
They're due.
They are due. Dude.
Yeah,
should have picked them.
Now, let's say Patino goes to St. John's. Like, are you going to be rooting for them more or UConn?
St. John's?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Always root for St. John's.
No, I'm saying over UConn.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, I didn't know.
I mean, St. John's in the city. They used to have a Staten Island campus, and they just closed it. Actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
But I hope to see it though, because Richard back on the big stage. And I'm sure whoever coaches you, Iona after him, I mean, they've been able to have success there, really, no matter who is in the building. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Hat-trick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot.
Big hit on the far side by McCarr! He flattens Jordan's skull! Oh my goodness!
Gets the gun right back. Terrified and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin.
It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
Right. All right. So I have to say, Tony, I am absolutely stunned the way that the New York Rangers have responded. We've talked about, for a while, what a big homestand this was, how we wanted 5-0, if not 4-1. And here we are, after yesterday's decisive 7-0 victory over the Rangers, and they are 4-0 on this homestand. So that is just very, very impressive. And this is back-to-back shutouts as well. The combo of Halak and Shesterkin getting the job done. And really, I was impressed, with their ability to beat the Penguins in back-to-back games after losing the first two, in that series this season. So we could, start with that game. This is one where they had two early goals in the first period to make it 2-0 and end up winning 6-0. And it just seems like every game we go to, Tony, you look at the box score, Mika Zibanejad is scoring.
Oh, yeah.
And he did that, in back-to-back games over the weekend as well. But the damage on Saturday, Zibanejad is 36. Panarin, who's shown an uptick in goals. Did he have 2 yesterday as well?
No, I think I just won yesterday.
One yesterday, so he's up to 23.
Yeah.
So he had 21 and 22 in this game. Power play goal on the 21st. Tarasenko added his 15th. Kreider's been heating up as well as 31st. And Trouba scoring again. So getting goals from really all angles. And it's funny, like 13 goals over 2 days. Really, the only guy that stands out that you would expect to contribute to that would be Kane. And he isn't. But the fact is that these other guys are going. Wait till, we saw that slap shot, last week, know, how impressive that was. You love to see, them firing on all cylinders, but specifically against Pittsburgh here, I have to say, that Jerry ends up getting pulled. This was just a dominant win on a nationally televised stage. And this was something that really prepares you for a Stanley Cup run.
Yeah, literally. And it's funny, even, Pittsburgh being, again, they're nothing what they used to be. They've had their struggles this season, but it's still, a playoff contending team. It's a team that we could see in the playoffs. We saw them last year and everything like that. But, it's one of those wins that, 6-0 is great. You got some great team chemistry going. You got a lot of good things going. But still, I don't know. I feel like leading up to this game, it was still such a question mark. You beat Washington, I think like 4-2 or something like that. And then, you beat the Penguins the first time. I think it was 3-2. And even last week, you're beating, Buffalo, tight game. Some of these games have to go into overtime, stuff like that. Like, the Rangers have been winning. But up until like the Saturday's game, there really wasn't any like dominant victory that you were really just like, wow, like there was no shot. Like this was Rangers all day. And this was, like I said, the first one. The first period, you score up 2-0 like that. And you feel pretty good. You mentioned Zibanejad and Panarin, kind of helping along Panarin in terms of goal scoring. He had that power play goal in the first period. And again, it's great. 2-0, you're feeling all right. But then like 4 unanswered goals in the second period. And honestly, like you were looking at the Penguins. They were outplaying the Rangers, it seemed, at some points. They had some really strong shifts. Igor Shesterkin was just unstoppable. You can get anything past that man. I think I just want to double check the team stats here. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh had outshot us at the end of the game. 33 shots to 24. You think about it. The Rangers 1 for 4 in the power play, not great. They gave the puck away 14 times, not great. They did block a lot of shots, and of course, holding Pittsburgh to a 0-5 on the power play. Obviously, the Rangers having a great penalty kill. You love to see that. We saw that, the past week or so with the Rangers, but I still would like to bring that down a little bit. I think 5 power play opportunities is really tough, and I think some teams will kind of score on that. I think you saw the last time before that we played the Penguins, which was the last Sunday, I think. Penguins had 3 power play opportunities in the first period. They converted on 1. You still got to watch for that, but of course, when your goaltender is looking like Igor did on Saturday night. There's really like nothing that can get you going more. And then you saw that in the second period. The Rangers knew they're like, hey, Igor's on it right now. Let's hype it up here on offense. Like I said before, Brian, 4 unanswered in the second period, a quiet third period, which is fine. But a 6-0 victory against Pittsburgh the second time, it's just so good to see, dude.
Well,
So good.
it just exactly what we wanted. And how many times did I mention, and they did this in both of these games here, just come out hot, come out and make a statement.
Yeah.
2 in the first against Pittsburgh. We haven't talked about yesterday really much yet, but how about 6 in the first there?
Unbelievable.
So I feel like you wanted to see that. You wanted to see the goalies step up. You wanted to see the defense step up. You want to see everybody contribute on the scoring end. And I think all of that stuff was accomplished. And I just really was Pittsburgh specifically because they had given them fits in the past. So you really, really love to see that. And turning the page here to yesterday, like I mentioned, it's 6 in the first. Hedo had his 20th. Zibanejad, I mentioned again his 37th. Tyler Mott, your guy, even adds his 5th. And Keandre Miller with his 7th and 8th goals. So we haven't heard from him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Panarin. It's funny now with this recent surge with Panarin, or really, I guess, all season, his goals come on bunches. So it just seems like, he's not really going to score that many. And then, he really, gets the totals up there. So now, he's looking pretty respectable in terms of his totals. When you think about the assists at 57, the goals at 23, that's very nice. And then Kreider, another goal, his 32nd. So seeming like he's going to end the season with mid to high 30s in goals, after coming off of a 50-goal season. But I think the goals have been evenly distributed. So that's been more than fine. So that was very impressive. I mean, and I have to say, I did not think I would be saying that Jaroslav Halak would have a shutout. Nevertheless, against a team over 500.
I know.
So I very much so impressed with that, and especially playing with a defense coming off a back-to-back. That's impressive stuff. And, Nashville, I would say not as good of a team as Pittsburgh, but nevertheless, to chase Saros out of there, I thought was huge. And you just love to see the goals and coming from a variety of places. I mean, it just was another win that you felt really good about. There's really not much negative to take away from this.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, Keandre Miller was the big name, 2 goals, 2 assists. I believe he's the first defenseman for the Rangers to ever tally 4 points in one period.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the 2 goals, 2 assists come from. And Keandre Miller is someone who, we've seen some good aspects from. He has an okay physical game. We see him get have some sweet dangles when the opportunity comes for a defenseman. But I think up until now, I think he spit on someone a couple of weeks ago, and that was like a whole big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to kind of come up here and be like, yo, I can handle it. 4 points in one period. He was +5 on the ice total for the whole game. So you love to see that. And I think it's great to see, an uptick out of a defenseman. I mean, Adam Fox is someone who, you talked about negatives, has been, pointless for quite some time now. Hasn't had a lot of goals to show for it. Hasn't really gotten into a lot of plays offensively. And it was someone who looked like that was, the bread and butter of his type of game last season. So to see another defenseman step up, and again, think about all of his production coming from, someone who's not Adam Fox, someone who you could expect, who could possibly, more likely than not, start to go off at some point, and kind of pick up and maybe have goals come in bunches, just like Panarin. But you look at the team stats here, Rangers kind of flipped the script there from the Saturday night game. They outshot Nashville 34-22. 1 for 4 in the power play, not bad. Didn't give up many power play opportunities. Again, that's kind of flipping the script in a good way from Saturday. Only 1 power play opportunity for Nashville, and they killed that penalty pretty easily. 19 block shots too. Again, that's the defense really playing well, and I think again, I mentioned it last week. I think that this homestand, a lot of the good play starts with Shesterkin. In this case, it started with Halak. It just starts with your goaltender. You see a goaltender make a big save. I'm telling you, that momentum translates to the other side of the ice. And also hypes up the defense. I mean, 19 block shots, the the defensemen know the goaltender's working hard. Your defensemen are going to work hard as well when they see that too. And you mentioned Halak with a shutout. Last time he had one, I think, was over a year ago. It was actually against the Rangers, ironically enough. But other than that, I mean, again, probably one thing to work on here, just off the top of my head. I mean, 33% win percentage in the face-off circle here. Again, I mean, you got to work on that. You look at the box score and to see how your centers kind of did. I mean, obviously, off night, 33% had to have been like a low for the year. But Zibanejad had won 77% of his face-offs. But then Goudreau and Hedel struggled in the circle, and Trocheck didn't win one. He was 0 for 6 in the face-off circle. So obviously,
I thought there wasn't any negatives, sorry.
Well, that's what you said.
No.
I would say that's the one negative, but if you want to spin it into a positive, Rangers had all that possession, all those, pucks on net by only winning 30% of their face-offs. Imagine if they won like 56
goals.
Yeah, literally. It could have been sky's the limit. That's one also negative. I mean, again, like, someone who was flipping this game on start of the second period, it's like 7-0. You're thinking, wow, like the Rangers could score 15 goals. Like I was hoping they would reach 10. I believe their record in one game is 12.
Wow.
From back in like the 70s. So it would have been cool to see double digits because Dallas did, they scored 10. It was a big hoorah. Would have been nice to see the Rangers kind of definitively, win. And of course, look at the games around the league too. Of course, the Bruins also win 7-0 on Sunday too. So nonetheless, dude, great win for the Rangers. Again, you talk about this homestand, to see, the moves that Chris Drury have made of, bringing in Tarasenko, even Tyler Mott, and of course Kane being probably one of the bigger ones. There was a lot of questions, tossed his way with Kane struggling, with, Tarasenko kind of struggling. And again, I think it was just time that you had to give them to just kind of like get the chemistry down. We talked about this last week. Kane was thrown in, didn't get much practice time. They had a break after a few, shitty games, and then it kind of all came together. And then, I think for Kane to have a homestand like this in the Garden, to realize what it feels like to have those fans around you. I mean, it was a fucking party in the Garden yesterday. Like,
and the party continues tomorrow.
Exactly, dude. So, yeah. I mean, I think Kane, who experienced that, really helped him settle in. To have, the New York fan base behind your back. I understand, there's probably some more things in the score sheet that Kane could have.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's skating hard. He was beating out icing calls last night. He's having great fucking passes, great vision out on the ice. Again, it's about knowing your role, really. We talked about all the different types of athletes in the team, all the talent, and you just have to kind of know your role to be like a puzzle, a cog, in the puzzle here. And I think that's what they're kind of coming to, regardless if Panarin is scoring a lot or not. Same thing like with not Panarin, Kane. Regardless if Kane is scoring a lot, I would just say same thing like Panarin. I mean, the man has 80 points in the season. I don't care where they come from. The man is producing. The man's giving chances for the Rangers to score. So I mean, you can't really be unhappy with that. And you would expect to see that. We mentioned how big of a spot the next few games are for the Rangers. We're 5 points behind the Devils for second place or for third place. I think 6 points then at that point behind the Hurricanes. So tight race for, 2, 3, and 4 here. And we're playing the Hurricanes twice, I think, in the next week too. So, I mean, it's going to be like, it's, great homestand, but still, I mean, you have a lot to look forward to.
Right. And then you're in a nice place for home ice in that first
round. Oh, yeah, dude.
That's big, right?
It's huge. We just talked about that last week too.
Yeah. Yeah, we just talked about that. And with Kane, I mean, I feel like it's with him, not obviously scoring that much since he's played, albeit a short, period of time. I feel like it's like a home run hitter with a track record. He comes over to your team and let's say he goes the first 10 games without one.
Right.
You don't all of a sudden bug to think that, he's forgotten how to hit one. It's the same thing with scoring a goal.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we mentioned it too. I mean, when when St. Louis first came over from the Lightning, I think he was goalless in the first like 15, 16 games of him on the team. And it's the same deal, someone about just getting that adjustment. Kane, just like St. Louis, was on one team forever, dude, and had a specific role. And obviously, going to a new team with new players, a lot of youth. I mean, it's an entirely different atmosphere, entirely different market. So there's certainly an adjustment period. So I expect, Patty Kane to really, again, like he's not going to forget how to play. You see it right now. He's going to start finding the back of the net within the next week, guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely. So an exciting time for the Rangers here, as they make a playoff push. We do have 5 games on the schedule tonight. Just wanted to update you and everyone on the pick segment. Opening day, 10 days away. And right now I have a 44-41 lead. So, the picks were tough on Friday. I was 0-2. And Tony was 1-1, picking one up with the Ducks there to make it 44-41.
The Ducks, baby.
But you are the leadoff hitter once again here. What do you got for number 1? I know one that you would love to take, but I don't know if you have the kahunas to do it.
Oh my goodness, dude. You talking about the Red Wings? Maybe?
No. Well, that would be something you would like, but this is like even better. Like
Sharks over the Oilers, a big upset.
Yeah, just because you don't like the Oilers, you'd be a little riled for Carlson.
No, but see, this is what you do. Oh yeah, Tony would love to take the team that's against the -355.
No, I'm saying just to prove a point that the Oilers aren't that good, right?
Right.
That's an agenda thing.
No, yeah, it is an agenda thing, but you don't pick with agendas, okay? You pick with stats, okay, with numbers, with odds. And I'm gonna go honestly with the Red Wings. I really am.
The Red Wings.
I think Kachuk over there as kind of not really been producing as much as they could. I understand they just beat New Jersey, Florida, and the Red Wings have not beat the Panthers this season. Third and final time these two teams are facing here, but we're in Detroit now. The last game was pretty tight, 3-2 that they played. I just think Detroit has kind of had some bright spots recently. I think they beat Boston last week, which was pretty big for them. They do typically play up against teams that are better than them, I feel. And Florida is being one of them. So I just feel like, Husso's going to be dialed in between the pipes tonight. And they're going to be able to move the puck pretty well. You know about Dylan Larkin. You know that he's really leading the team in pretty much everything. He's got to be 65 points, 25 goals, 40 assists. Yeah, leading the team in quite literally everything. But David Perron has had a solid season as well too. 41 points. He's someone who's a veteran, I think, to the league. So give me 2 goals and assists from Perron and a goal and assist from Dylan Larkin. Red Wings win 4-2. You got a big smile on your face there.
No, the love affair with Dylan Larkin
so
continues. Husso, but I think you're more of a Larkin guy, or no?
Compared to Husso, yeah. I mean, I was happy when the Red Wings got Husso. But Dylan Larkin, I mean, yeah, dude.
Understood, Tony. Understood. You know what? Just to prove a point here, I'm gonna take the Oilers over. If it was any other team, I would take the Sharks and Carlson. But
I know
they cannot get that 20th win for their life. I don't know what it is.
I think they have the worst record of the league right now.
I think what it is, Tony, is they don't win if Carlson doesn't score. I mean, that's pretty much what we've seen here. So I love Edmonton at home. They're trying to really improve upon their playoff positioning, as much as possible. So I think this is one that actually could get out of hand. And you look at it, the Sharks have lost, it looks like, at least 5 in a row here. Oilers 4 out of 5. I'm just curious. Let me just see here. What's your guess? You think it extends way further than that? They've been sitting on 19 for a while, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3,
8
4, 5, 6. But also the thing is, so 6, they won 1 game against the Jets. And then before that lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they've lost then 11 out of 12.
That's not good, Brian.
Tough times there in San Jose. So yeah, I'm gonna say Edmonton. You're gonna get 3 goals from McDavid, 7-2 over the Sharks. But those 2, courtesy of Erik Karlsson.
Wow,
21
dude.
and 22. But blowout fashion for Edmonton. I just wanted to see 2 here. Western Conference standings. I know it's tight, but just where exactly they line up.
The Sharks?
No. Edmonton is, let's see, 3. So they're the 7th seed. So right now they would play Los Angeles, but I think that's a good matchup for them, despite not having the home ice. But right now, Kraken hanging on to that 8th spot.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, isn't it crazy how far they've fallen? They were at the top
Holy
of the
shit,
conference.
dude! Literally,
They're in 9th, Calgary in 10th. And then the rest of the conference we can assume is pretty much out at this point. But Colorado has a chance here. They're only 2 behind Minnesota, or not Colorado, but Edmonton is tied with Colorado, and then they're both 2 behind Minnesota there. So definitely some room to move up the ladder. So you got to take advantage of a game like this.
Yeah,
get the job done.
No, yes, certainly for Edmonton there. Pretty crazy, even just to look at what the Western Conference looks like now, because Colorado was out, Edmonton was out, Winnipeg, like you said, was on top. And
I said it all along.
No, they'll still make it. Don't worry, dude.
Stars falling. They were at the top for a little bit.
Yeah, they were 1 and 2 was Winnipeg and Dallas.
Vegas was going through a tough time.
Yeah.
They've seemed to right the ship.
I know, pretty crazy, dude.
What are you thinking for your second?
What do you think I'm going to think?
Let's see. So, give me 1 second though. I want to make a informed guess here.
Yes, an educated guess here.
Senators over Pittsburgh. Kopitar, Tony.
No. Gotta go with the Kings over Calgary.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Did you just mention them too? 2nd place in the Western Conference.
Not a bad guess, though, or no?
No, not
that
a
would
bad
be like
guess.
The second one maybe you would have taken?
Definitely.
Okay.
But you really love the chances here of the Kings. Again, the Flames, someone who anything really but Flames really cooled off this season, I feel, since last year. LA 40, 20, and 10. That's pretty intense record for them. Korpisalo has been having an okay season, I suppose, but Phoenix Copley 21, 4, and 3 there in net for the Kings with 1 shutout, 2.63 goals on average, 904 save percentage. Save percentage could get up there, but still does not give up a lot of goals. So you love to see that. I would be interested to see, honestly, if he is starting tonight. I'm sure nothing is out there. Who's so confirmed, by the way, for the Red Wings. Phoenix Copley on the docket, unconfirmed, against Jacob Markstrom, who is really the opposite of Copley, really 19, 18, and 10, 2.89 goals against, 891 save percentage. So struggling even more with the save percentage, and you would expect, some players on LA to really take advantage, to challenge Markstrom and again, take advantage of the fact that his save percentage is low. About Kopitar and Fiala and Velarde too. But how about Drew Doughty here? 43 points in the season, 38 assists and 5 goals, getting in a lot of, of opportunities here in terms of giving up assists there from the blue line. Give me a goal and 3 assists for Drew Doughty, breaking that 40 assist mark here this game. And getting a 6th goal this season, plus 11 out on the ice. You love to see that. Kemp over there, center, and Kopitar, another center, both plus 15 and 16 respectively out on the ice. Obviously you really love to see them really be successful. Again, I hate ESPN when they don't give you the face-off win percentages.
It's all about the face-off.
You got to go to the expanded stats and everything like that. Kopitar winning 56% of his face-offs. Love to see that. It really is all about the face-off. Center position is so important. Philip Denault too, 53% of his face-offs. He's winning 48 points in the season for him too. Pretty solid. I believe he was former Canadian. Nonetheless, dude, give me the Kings here. I'm gonna say it gets pretty defensive there for the Kings. Give me Copley with a shutout. Why not? Let's go 3-0.
Copley,
2nd of the season,
quietly
dude.
becoming your favorite tender other than Shesterkin in the league.
Dude, he's doing really well. He's like fucking Vejmelka, dude, for me.
Yeah. But Vejmelka,
oh, really fizzed out, dude.
I just wonder
fizzed
though,
out.
He finds himself in a favorable situation next year. Does he revert back?
What do you mean, like still
Corral?
on the Coyotes?
I can't believe
you mean?
forgot his name was Corral.
I know. Could always just say Vejmelka, dude.
Yeah, I know the numbers aren't pretty.
This season, obviously the wins, 3 shutouts though.
It's just such a high goal against, and the save percentage is mediocre.
Again, you would still think you put him on a good team with a good defense. The goals against on average is gonna go down, and the save percentage is probably gonna go up.
Yeah, you would hope, right?
You really would, dude.
Yeah, so for my second pick here, before we get to the common game, I'm going to go with Colorado over Chicago, minus 455 at home here. The teams have split their previous two matchups here. Avalanche winning at home 5-2 back on 10-12, and the Blackhawks surprisingly winning 3-2 back on January 12th. But Colorado is hot. They've really, shot up the ladder here in the Western Conference after really a tough start. They now sit at 40-22, which is pretty good, and they're winners of their last 5 games here. So I think, with Chicago, sure, it was nice to beat Boston and Nashville in consecutive games, but I think, after losing to Arizona last time out, you're going to see them revert to their old ways, and they've, obviously with the Kane trade, they've lost more pieces from this team. So you would think they would want as good of a position as they could get, upcoming for the NHL draft. So not expecting a great effort out of them. I'm going to say Colorado gets this done 5-1. And you're going to see Cale Makar with 2 goals and 2 assists.
That'd be nice. A little underwhelming year for him, I believe.
Injuries, though, too.
Yeah, the injury. Yeah. Better, dude. I was gonna look up his stats real quick.
And while you're looking up his stats, I'm just gonna set the table here. 55 games, so he's definitely missed
a lot,
a
dude.
good chunk, at least 10-12. The Penguins and Senators, the lone remaining game here. So we're both are gonna give our best shot on that one. And just I guess go to his last year. I'm just curious for comparison purposes. 77, so 22 more games, and he had 12 more goals?
It looks like 13 more 13 more assists and 12 more goals.
22 more games. So I mean, not that far off.
No. Yeah. But still, I mean, last year plus 48 on the ice, dude.
Yeah.
Plus, you would imagine how many games are left? Maybe 10?
Yeah.
So 11 games shy. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Great player, nevertheless.
No, yeah, very nice player. Huge future in the league.
And he's a defenseman, too, we got to keep in mind. So it's not like,
Yeah. No, you're right.
All right. Just want to make sure. Yeah.
Just want to make sure you're right.
I think we would take his offensive production over Jacob Trouba's. But I know recently he's looked good. We get it, Tony.
He's coming into a leader, dude.
I hope so. I really do. This is a big year. It's like a Dan Hurley year. Like, let's go. So the last game, Penguins minus 165 against the Senators. We'll do the old 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Penguins. Tony, you hype up Ottawa all year. You hate Pittsburgh, and then you take the Penguins. I don't know what to say.
Oh, I'm just telling you right now, Penguins veteran team. Jari's great. 3-game losing streak, very unlike them. Huge bounce back. Senators not hot right now. What are they on? Like a 6-game losing streak? Possibly more, dude.
I thought you loved them.
I did. They were one of my biggest disappointments this season, dude.
All right.
It's really just disgraceful. I mean, I don't know, dude. You look at the stats here. I mean, again, Kachuk, dude, 71 points, dude, but minus 11 on the ice. Claude Giroux, 67 points. For someone his age, great. But it's like, you would think Brassard maybe a little bit better. Harmonic, a little bit better there on defense. They had Mott. He fucking got out of there, obviously. I don't know, dude. The rest of the team is just disappointments, dude. Total disappointments, dude.
Yeah. But hey,
I don't know what to say.
That is the National Hockey League. But let's go to the world of Major League Baseball.
Wow.
2-2, he got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land? Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right. So some interesting stuff going on in the world of Major League Baseball. Injuries have been a big focal point, the last couple weeks. Obviously Edwin Diaz, the big one, coming in the World Baseball Classic. And then just over the weekend, Jose Altuve a thumb injury and is going to be out through May for the Houston Astros. So that is a massive blow for Houston here. And I mean, we've seen Diaz, we've seen Altuve, and I know there's been a couple other, kind of lesser heralded guys that have gotten hurt, Tony, but does any, I know freak thing once again here with Altuve, but with this classic, I mean, any more thought? Has it changed your mind any more about if these guys should be playing here, if this thing should be played in general, with another big injury like that with Altuve?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe it should be. I mean, let me ask you this. Do you think the reason why injuries have occurred so much is because a lot of these players like aren't at a certain level compared to the MLB players playing the World Baseball Classic? Or do you think more of it like it's early in the season, none of these MLB players are like in prime season shape? You think it's a little bit of both? You think it's one or the other?
I think it's a little bit of both, but then it's like, Altuve, I think it was sliding is so it's like, could your thumb be in shape? You know what I mean? So not
Right.
necessarily, but I guess it's more of, I think, from a fan and team perspective, Tony, like anybody getting hurt in this baseball classic is just going to be very annoying. So I think that's just the tough part. In the like it's just for Mets fans like yourselves, for Houston Astros
Brutal.
fans, who's gonna be like, I love the baseball classic. Everybody has such a sour taste in their mouth now.
I know, dude. It really is. And it's a shame because I mean, honestly, when you look at it, it seems like the players do enjoy playing at this. They enjoy representing their countries. There's been good baseball being played too. And you see again, you do see names that you don't see regularly. I don't know. I think maybe moving forward, it should be up to the club's discretion if they let their players play.
Right.
I don't think there should be like an overall umbrella rule made,
Mhm.
sort of deal. Because you gotta think about it, like, if you're like, I don't know, I don't know, if you're like on the Tigers or something, and you're like, their fifth starting pitcher or something like that. Obviously, you're not winning the World Series.
Yeah.
You want to go for the World Baseball Classic? Why not? Hey, like, can I get sure, like, sort of deal. It is very unfortunate that there's so many injuries. I feel like there's never been this amount of like this spotlight on injuries, this even amount of injuries in the league either. I mean, it's pretty crazy, seeing that kind of, I guess, transpire this World Baseball Classic, but very unfortunate. I do enjoy, also what we were saying last week, we're having college players or
Right.
my
Prospects.
prospects play. That I love. I'm a huge advocate for that, to get lesser known guys their name out there. I think it's a great platform to showcase some youthful talent. And it is super unfortunate to see guys go down. I think Arenado even got hit yesterday too, or 2 days ago, and he's just like shaking his hand, walking it off. And I mean, dude, people were like, dead silent in the arena, like, holy shit, like, God forbid he got hurt.
And the thing is, so you have something like that, and then I know it hasn't happened yet, and obviously for the U.S., I mean, they got Lance Lynn and Adam Wainwright and Miles Mikolas pitching. The top pitchers aren't pitching for Team USA. But my whole point being that, like, it could, no matter who the pitcher is, obviously nobody should be like lost for the year. And it's like they're pitching in this thing. Let's say their arm's not where it normally would be, and they could be pitching this type of leverage of spots. So even though it hasn't happened, somebody could easily snap a ligament.
Yeah.
So
And that's what Max Scherzer was saying too, as to why he wasn't playing.
So it is tough. And then I do get the sense, the players do speak very highly of it. But my whole thing is like, and I don't mean to downplay it because, the U.S., they've been dominant this tournament, and they beat Cuba 14-2 last night to advance to the final, and they'll play the winner of Mexico and Japan. And I don't know, the way Ohtani's been starring, homering, pitching 104 miles an hour, you'd imagine that it would be the U.S. versus Japan.
Oh yeah.
And so obviously, people are excited about that. But I guess I would just ask you, Tony, if not every country has their full complement of players, does a championship mean that much?
I mean, I would still think, yeah, absolutely. Why, you don't think so?
Well, I mean, think about, the guys that Cuba has brought over and then look at, I could read you their lineup. Uh, Luis Mateo, Luis Robert, Yohan Moncada are the only
Like notable people.
yeah, you don't know anybody else. And think about all the other guys, Gurriel, I'm like blanking here, but there's like a bunch of guys, from Cuba.
Yeah, but think about like, what if Cuba made a run, like made it to the finals? What
Well,
if they
lost
won?
14-2 though.
Yeah,
I
I
I'm saying,
understand
imagine
that.
if they had those guys though.
Right.
That's what I mean.
They
Like,
probably would have lost like 14. to
Eloy
8.
Jimenez, I think, is Cuban as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's another guy.
Why you think it doesn't really like that victory doesn't mean as much because
I mean, it's just it's interesting. But then again, I mean, the U.S. has a lot of hitters, but they don't have any pitchers. So it's just like, would they win every game? 20-3 if they did. I don't know. It's I guess what I'm getting at is I understand. I see fan excitement. People are talking about on Twitter. Players are advocates for it, but I just can't get there.
Yeah.
I mean, have you tuned in at all?
A little bit. Just because again, like I'm seeing highlights on Twitter and
Right.
There are these pretty electric games. Again, you're looking at Arenado, like he was probably one person I've been kind of following a little bit throughout this
Right.
World Baseball Classic. Trey Turner, even too, like to see these guys really shine on a stage. And I mean, it's cool.
But I think you are one more Met injury away from like just being like, I never want to see this classic go on again.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Right though? I mean,
yeah, I'd be if like like we were saying, joking around, I know, but like if Alonso had gotten injured or something,
I mean,
it's like we're not allowing anyone else ever to go in this.
Yeah, exactly. So, I guess we'll see what happens, once this thing wraps up. And speaking of injuries and the Mets, some good news on Brandon Nimmo. I guess they're saying expected to start opening day after there was some question that he could, miss maybe the first month or so.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, again, you look at what happened, very awkward, like non-contact sliding injury there. Looked like his leg got caught underneath him a little bit. And, it was his knee predominantly you kind of saw him have an issue with, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, another knee injury, you're thinking months out. Thankfully, from what I've heard, 2 low-grade ankle sprains.
Yeah, that's what the Post said.
And then the low-grade knee sprain as well. So nothing crazy. Obviously taking it easy. And again, it's kind of funny too because Brendan Nimmo, obviously you signed the big contract. Great job having him be a career Met, whatever. But he was one of the more outspoken players about why he wasn't playing in the WBC and how the injury, it's not worth it. My focus is on the Mets, the World Series, yada, yada. And then for him to have like an injury like this in spring training, I mean, it's kind of ironic, but also it's like, what the hell sort of deal. But to have him ready to go opening day, I mean, you're glad to hear that. You heard that from Buck too. So, you're just stoked that it wasn't anything serious at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. So it really is just so exciting, that we're getting so close to the start of the season, and just be able to watch our teams, night in, night out, compete on a daily basis here, to get back to the heights during the regular season that they were last year, and then really, pick it up a notch come postseason time. It's such an exciting time of year. I saw the Rockies signed Jurickson Profar. He was kind of the top outfield free agent left. So I guess that's a decent get for them. 1 year, $7.75 million. I don't know.
You'd rather have Hicks?
No, but I'd rather have Esteban Florio.
Right.
You know what I mean? Profar 243, 15 and 58. I mean, don't you think? I don't know. It seemed like there was, I guess you kind of bring that up, and like there was a lot of Twitter people, clamoring for the Yankees to sign Profar.
Oh, really?
And it's like, I feel like Profar is a guy you sign, I don't know, like you don't have another option than Hicks, but the Yankees have options, like for a team like, or you have a freak injury. But I just think he was a top prospect with Texas. And it's like, at the end of the day, other than a couple seasons where he had 250 or less and hit 20 home runs, what else has he done? I mean, I know he's versatile, but I don't know. Did you ever think he was that good?
No, I mean, again, like you mentioned his versatility. I feel like he had good stretches. But other than that, was it like, wow, this guy's gonna like make or break a team in the World Series or something? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. So that was kind of just my thoughts, there. So and then there also was something that came out. I guess Cashman, um, announcing that they're going to meet, I guess, this week because there's a bunch of roster spots that are in question, and they were
Oh,
saying like so to determine who's on the team going forward, and they're saying like that is just a built-in excuse so that he can't be solely blamed for like Volpe starting the season in AAA. That it's a
what?
collaborative decision of who's going to be on the opening day roster, but obviously
What a snake, dude.
he's the head of it. He really
Yeah.
is the worst, though.
Yeah.
So that definitely is a little tough, but the rookies, they've been dominating the spring training and are expected
Right.
to play big roles. Hal spoke very highly of
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, these trades are happening. I know you haven't really thought so, but I really am confident that Glaber and IKF are going to get moved before opening day.
Yeah, I hope so.
Especially IKF.
IKF.
Why else would he be playing center field?
There's no reason.
He's not going to get into the game at center field. I think that's the biggest thing there for me. But yeah, I'm just so excited. We're right around the corner. And I probably, I guess, the day before the season starts, we'll have to do our Cy Young, MVP type predictions, World Series predictions as well. Because we did our divisional previews, but did not get to crown a champion. So we always look forward to that.
Hell yeah, dude. Pumped.
Yeah, and then really, other than that, some stuff in the NFL over the weekend. I mentioned the Cooks deal with the Cowboys, former Viking receiver Adam Thielen going to the Carolina Panthers.
Good get.
Yeah, I think a solid get, and especially if they go with a rookie quarterback there to start the year, he can get a trusted veteran. I think that's big. And it's a tremendous story. Laramie Tunsil of the Texans gets the contract extension to become the highest paid lineman in NFL history. It's a 3-year, $75 million extension. So $25 million a year for an offensive lineman. I don't know if you remember who he is.
Wait, is this the Bong dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Do we not make a movie about this now? Think
You
about
have
it.
to.
Because before like combine and stuff, he was mocked to go number 1 overall. Bong video comes out. He slides to 13.
Right.
He gets traded for 2 first-round picks 3 years in. He goes from Miami to the Texans, and then he signs this extension.
Do we know who broke that photo?
We're guessing like an old agent or someone that was in his inner circle.
Oh shit, dude.
And then he broke off ties or
dude, I
whatnot.
absolutely love. Yeah, it has to be a movie about that, dude.
I did just see that come across. Can you translate, Tony?
Oh yeah. Just want to get on that real quick, dude.
No, but in all seriousness, though, what actually is that?
Dude, I don't know. It's definitely something. I don't even want to put it up there. But they comment twice.
They're coming in hot.
They are coming in hot.
No,
I don't know.
if
I'm kind of
that's real.
scared. Yeah, I'm kind of scared if
Like,
that's
no. It's like they're praising us. Oh, we love the show.
Yeah,
we want to call in.
Oh, I remember that dude with the Bong photo.
Yeah. Exactly.
That'd be crazy, dude. But unfortunately, I don't know, and I also kind of doubt it. You can probably call that number. I think that's what the telephone icons were.
So we might have to get the I don't know, like our translator department, I guess we could say.
Yeah, we get the translation department on it.
And then let's see, Sean Murphy Bunting, the former Bucks cornerback, going to the Titans. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson going to the Detroit Lions. So the former Eagle tied for the league lead in interceptions despite missing 5 games, 1 year, $8 million. So a lot of these Eagles going, and it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, they want to get that Hurts contract extension done.
Oh yeah.
So they're clearing out the space, but do you think that's the right move though? Like to kind of give Hurts whatever he wants, even if it's almost in the area of like what Lamar Jackson's looking for. Do you think their hands are tied here? There's no other option?
I mean, I kind of find it hard to believe that they do have other options, right? I mean,
yeah,
they need Jalen Hurts, right? Why wouldn't you give whatever he needs around him? Obviously, kind of be smart about it in terms of giving him pieces that can protect him too. You mentioned Lamar. I mean, I don't know. I think Hurts seems to have a little bit of a better, grittier attitude with injuries, with his shoulder than Lamar does. Yeah. So I think that's why I think that's more worth it.
And I was actually going to ask you kind of who you would be more comfortable giving the contract to, but I'm guessing by that you're saying
definitely
Hurts.
I mean, Hurts, playing through that shoulder injury, dude. I mean, that's
yeah. Lamar is a really negative rap, and I think a big part of it is him not playing down the stretch last year.
Yeah.
So I think that's why teams have said they've been out. They don't want, and it's just such a messy situation. Him being his own agent, but then again, it doesn't need to be. Laramie Tunsil, I didn't even mention he's his own agent.
Really?
So saving on that 4% VIG or whatever it is. So
wow, dude.
It's interesting stuff, and obviously the Jets just waiting on an agreement here with the Packers, but it would be nice if it wasn't lingering, Tony. You know what I mean? It seems like this is going to linger a while.
I think it's starting to get to you a little bit, buddy.
You think any chance though? Part of it I'm saying that
Oh, yeah,
the reason why they're doing this is like the Packers GM is tight that Rodgers kind of called him out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to just like bend at the knees and just trade him right away." Like, do you think any of that's part of it?
I mean, that's kind of what they're alluding to, right? Because
Yeah.
Rodgers is like, "Oh, it's nothing on my end," and obviously the Jets are like, "We put everything on the table, so it's got to be the only odd man out here is going to be the Packers." So I mean, it must be, but I mean, come on, are we really like that?
It's immature,
childish. Yeah,
yeah,
it really is, dude. Everyone seems very, but I would imagine too. Maybe the Packers are just fed up with the whole Rodgers, but even so, dude, like just then get him out of there. Then get him out.
You have your guy.
Gone.
You wanted to replace him.
Yeah.
You traded up in the draft to take Jordan Love. You have Jordan Love. You've been wanting to start him. You're going to start him finally in his 4th season. If he just retired, you wouldn't get anything. So what are you complaining about?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It really is outrageous, dude.
And I did actually just see this too. Kind of tough for the Padres. Soto, day-to-day, mild left oblique strain. It's just funny. A little like headline like that. 2 months sometimes.
Yeah,
3 months.
It's ridiculous.
And Soto, struggled, when he came over to San Diego. It just, and I think this is the last year of that deal, right? It was just for control this year, and then last year, he turned down that big extension. Imagine he struggles with injury. Not to say he's not going to get some type of big money, but he may look back and regret turning down all that money from the Nationals.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he does struggle with it.
But are you expecting him to just revert back to the giant killer that he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the swing is nice. We'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mets in play if Ohtani falls through the cracks next year.
That'd be great.
Would you still rather have Ohtani though?
Yeah.
I just wonder with Ohtani though, like, is eventually the whole double act gonna catch up to him? Like, I know he's a great athlete now, but he's also what, 26?
Right.
Like, when he's 32, is he going to be able to pitch 200 innings and lock 600 plate appearances?
But I mean, if you get him for like 5 years, I mean, that's pretty solid.
I don't know. I just think that's a lot of wear and tear. I mean, he is a great athlete, but and I think, do you think lock 50 million?
Yeah, has to be, right?
Yeah,
there's no way not.
He's gonna like reset the market, and it's just that's gonna be something interesting. But a lot going on, sir.
Yeah, I know. So much going on
in the world of sports, and obviously a little going on later. I think we said Gaming Corner 6:30, man.
Gaming Corner 6:30, classic time, classic Monday night with the boys playing Madden. Updated rosters. You want to put Rodgers on the Jets?
Updated rosters, no, but they don't have. they don't update. Like, they're so annoying. It's like the new game's not out. You can't just update the rosters right now. Like, what's the big deal? You're not. And then you want to take the update away. I don't know if you could even do that once it's downloaded. Maybe that's why. But really,
they want you to buy the new game, dude. Which is so annoying.
Which is not out till August, and here we are, and it's March.
Yeah,
so
same fucking game, dude. What's up?
So looking forward to that. 6:30. The fellas get back together for another Gaming Corner. But other than that, Tony, anything else here on the way out you wanted to mention?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think that's basically it, dude.
Yeah. Another great show, though.
We
really appreciate everybody tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, checking out the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee in costume. The merch, the spring collection is here, downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy their day, enjoy Gaming Corner, enjoy the games, and we will see you.
Oh, almost. Dude, flub that one, huh?
Mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.